We are here and back at this live Facebook event for Harry Chapin's 75th birthday, and we're all trying to keep alive the dreams and the ideals of Harry Chapin. And nobody does that better than his brother, Tom Chapin. And Tom, it's great to see you again. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. 75th, wow, 75th birthday. Brother Harry, I'm 72. I'm just trying to imagine him being 75. He's been gone a while, but the dreams and his visions keep going. He's been gone 37 years. That means, and he died at 38. So it's almost as long as he was alive. It's been that long. And the amazing thing to me is how many people have stepped up and kept those incredible, his ideas and the organizations. Why Hunger, for instance, is celebrating their 42nd or 43rd year, and this actually is coming to the end of Hungerthon. So those listeners out there,
we're going to talk about that. But Tom, you I think said, and I think you said it quite accurately, that none of us can fill his shoes because they were so full. But we've got to fill our own shoes. Explain what that means, just to motivate people out there to do whatever it is they can.
Well, actually, it was said by my other brother, my oldest brother, Jim Chapin, who was the chairman of the board of Why Hunger for a long, long time until his death. And it was at Harry's funeral. Our world was kind of shaken by Harry's death. And we all were trying to think, wow, how do we carry on some of these incredible things he'd started? And James at the funeral said, we can't be Harry. None of us can be. He was a unique character, and we wouldn't want to be. We have to be ourselves. But what we can do is fill our own shoes a little fuller. And that to me was like, bingo. We can do what we do, but do it a little better, a little more focused, and with the memory of this incredible guy who who would not take no for an answer, and whose watchword was, when in doubt, do something. And the times we're living in right now, boy, if there's ever needed the citizen, us, to do something, it's right now.
Yeah, not just to think about what Harry might look like today, because by you and what you look like, he'd look fantastic. It is. More importantly, what would he be doing today? How would he be responding, acting out in a responsible manner to protest the things that he was concerned about?
Well, that's the ongoing idea of being a citizen. Harry was always talking about that this is a participatory democracy. And what does that mean? That means that you and I, who hold the highest office in the land, citizen, and we can't be voted out unless we do it ourselves, unless we just opt out. And when you opt out, you see what happens. That's what's happened in this last cycle. And
now, so you actually, Tom, if I'm correct, you threw Harry out of the band.
Well, it was a kind of a mutual brothers decision, but Steve would never do it. He said, "Tom, you do it." We were playing up in this is a long, long, long time ago. We started the Chapin Brothers, as you know, Larry, when I was 12 and Harry was 14 and Steve was 11, and we played for 10 or 12 years. And when I was at college, Harry was Steve was at college in Clarkson. I was at Plattsburgh State, and we started playing weekends in the band. And it was like Harry was coming up from New York, and he went off. He was playing bass in the band. He was not a bass player, and he sort of jammed through these songs on the weekend. And then he went off to do a film on the World Bank and met Haile Selassie along the way, which is a different story. But he came back after 3 weeks, and Steve says, we've tried a different bass player who was like, he could play. Oh my gosh. So we kicked Harry out of the band.
Now, let me ask you the dynamic, and then I want to get to the phone number so people can know how they can participate and talk to Tom Chapin. But what was that dynamic? Because bands are difficult anyway. But when you're brothers, that's got to add just another dimension to it all.
Well, we were extremely close. The four brothers, Jim, Harry, Tom, and Steve, and three of us, Harry, Tom, and Steve, formed the Chapin Brothers and really learned the music and how to do this together. I mean, there was always arguments, but musically there wasn't that much of an argument. It was really mostly about and playing sports and that kind of stuff. But I think it was a huge shock for Harry and very hard. But it was also younger brothers who were in the orbit of this incredible force called Harry Chapin. The family's joke, which I actually invented, was two's company, Harry's a crowd.
I'll tell you, I went back after you said to me that there was a performance up online with Mike Douglas, the Mike Douglas program, with the three boys and dad playing the drums. And as a drummer, as I told you at the time, Jim Chapin, I mean, a legend in our industry. A lot of people know Buddy Rich and they know Gene Krupa, but your father was equal to the greats of his era.
Well, he also wrote a book which became and still is one of the Bibles of jazz drumming. If you're a jazz drummer, you're going to have to go through it sooner or later. If you're serious and studying, you're going to have to go through the Chapin book. And the great line there was that Jen Chapin, Harry's daughter, went to Berklee School of Music after she graduated from Brown, and nobody cared that she was Harry Chapin's daughter. But these were jazz guys, and all they cared about was, wow, your grandpa was Jim Chapin? And she said, as she said, I got grandpa to come and do a workshop, and no one looked at me the same after that because you got Jim Chapin here. It's a family of artists. We have two grandfathers. One was a painter, one was a writer, and so I feel blessed that we had a chance to without a lot of fighting within the family about getting jobs and getting becoming a doctor or something else. Musician was okay as long as we did it fully, and it was something we wanted to get up every morning to do. And but that became, for Harry and for us, the other part of that scenario is that we are citizens as well. We're Americans, and we take that very seriously. And we are here today to celebrate a guy who almost single-handedly brought the hunger issue into American consciousness. And let me do a song that I wrote with my brother Steve wrote a kid's song with a chorus I loved, and Michael Mark and I wrote a little story song here. Down on 9th Avenue, cold, hungry men stand in the soup line to be fed yet again. I hurry the children, afraid that they'll stare, but the kids hardly notice, for the line's always there. It's there in the papers, it's there on TV, the half-vacant eyes staring hopeless at me. It's not a hot wind blows over the African sky, and they tell us the children are the first ones to die. Hunger and thirst, two things I hate. Everyone living needs food on their plate. Some things can hurt, these hurt the worst. Nothing hurts harder than hunger and thirst. My friend Maxine helped out 2 nights a week, serving the hungry on Sullivan Street. I spoke to a man there, the message was clear. Last month he was working, and now he's here. It crosses all borders and speaks in all tongues. It takes us all prisoner, the old and the young. It's not just Somalia, Nepal and Bombay, but Boston and Houston and Flint and LA. Hunger and thirst, two things I hate. Everyone living needs food on their plate. Some things can hurt, these hurt the worst. Nothing hurts harder than hunger and thirst. Share the world, call the hungry to come to the table to heal and mend and harvest the end of hunger and thirst. Here's a Harry verse about my brother, 75, my goodness. My brother, the dreamer, set out to defend the powerless poor and to bring to an end. The horror of hunger that shackles us still. Now he'll never see it, but maybe we will. It's as simple as breaking a loaf of new bread and sharing with someone who needs to be fed. It's as painful as changing the whole human race, for it holds the whole world in its mindless embrace. And a world that is hungry is a desperate place. Hunger and thirst, two things I hate. Everyone living needs food on their plate. Some things can hurt, these hurt the worst. Nothing hurts harder than hunger and thirst. Share the world, call the hungry to come to the table to heal and mend and harvest the end of hunger and thirst. Nothing hurts harder than hunger and thirst.
Thank you, three-time Grammy winner himself, Tom Chapin. And Tom, nothing unleashes the tongue like a great song. So we've got a caller who wants to speak to you.
Hey.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello, my name is James.
Hi,
James.
I'm calling from Buffalo, New York, and I'd like to tell you my story about the Harry Chapin tribute concert. I went to the University of Dayton in fall of 1976, and I was introduced to Harry's music, and I attended, I think, about 6 concerts during that time before his passing, and he affected my life a lot, and got involved in social issues. Even I was volunteering in the Appalachian Mountains of Kentucky when he passed away, and I've been a volunteer most of my life and vegetarian for the last 37 years and all that. But when I found out that Bruce Springsteen was going to be playing at the tribute concert, I said, "There's no way I'm going to get tickets." And so I wrote Mrs. Chapin a letter, and I let her know how Harry had affected my life and all that. And she wrote me back, and she said, "Tickets will be at the box office for you." So my sister was living and working in New York City at that time. I flew to New York, and we went to the concert, went to the box office, got tickets, and it said row A. Me and my sister said, "Oh my God, I can't believe this. It can't be first row." Yes, it was. It was the first row to the right, directly in front of Harry Chapin's stool that he used in concerts. And we could not believe it. Mrs. Chapin gave me front row tickets. And wow. I couldn't believe it. Oh, we went to the concert, and I said to my sister, "Follow me. Do whatever you do after the concert. Follow me. We're going to get backstage." And so she was in a business suit from the day. And as soon as the concert ended, I acted like I didn't know what I was doing, and I jumped on stage and went backstage to get some autographs. And got a lot of autographs. I posted it on the Facebook page, but my sister couldn't jump on stage and follow me because she was in her business suit from that day. And I was backstage for about half an hour, got some amazing autographs. I didn't bother Mrs. Chapin or the family because I know emotional night, but the signed brochure has hung on my bedroom walls since I've had it in 1987. And
wow.
I think of Harry Chapin a lot, and I continue to play his music. He continues inspiring me.
That
Terrific,
is a
James.
story.
Good.
By the way, did you run into Mr. Tanner in Dayton? Thank you so much for calling in. And, these kinds of stories about Harry and about the family and access and the willingness to be one with your audience, that really was the unique secret sauce, I think, to the Chapin legend, really.
Well, it's certainly Harry loved performing, as I do. And I think that it's astonishing to me when you listen to stories like this, and I get these all the time, when I travel around. I mean, it's, as I said, it's been 37 years since he died, but there's this kind of personal connection. James had this amazing story of getting in row A for that, because that was an astonishing concert. But a lot of people who, even younger people who've never even, seen Harry in concert, but just discovered his music or discovered some of the things he started, Why Hunger, Long Island Cares, these ongoing things. I do want to talk a minute about Why Hunger, because this is coming to the end of the Hungerthon, which is our big fundraiser. It's an astonishing, and you can go on the website when you're finished with this. Go on hungerthon.org, and there's ways to help this most important thing that Harry started. He was so involved with Why Hunger. He did half his concerts the last 5 years were for keeping Why Hunger alive. Then it was then called World Hunger Year. Now it's called Why Hunger. And you can make a bid, you make a donation, or you can bid on gifts. There's wonderful T-shirts and all kinds of clothing and memorabilia. And there's also a lot of on Charity Buzz. There's a lot of celebrity experiences and autographs and all kinds of things, including you can buy a Tom Chapin concert. We do it every year with my friends Michael Mark and John Cobert. And we're doing that again this year. So check that out. But today we're just talking about Brother Harry, and the older I get, the more I realize what a unique character he was.
Absolutely.
Let me do a song of his, because I have a new album called Threads, which has this song on it. Let me get it in tune first. There it is. This is a song that Harry wrote after he heard Mr. Tambourine Man. Interesting. You never know it from the song, but this is what inspired him to talk about and put all these images together. Turning on my pillow, thinking kind of strange. Color is of midnight in my room. Cars outside are coughing. It's kind of hard to sleep. And there's neon out the window, not the moon. It was just an any old kind of day, the kind that comes and slips away, kind that fills up easy my lifetime. The night brought any old kind of dark. I heard the ticking of my heart. And why am I thinking something's left behind? I whistled around today, skipped a footloose jay to the hurdy-gurdy music of the street. I looked up past the rooftops and I saw the cloudless sky. But I keep on asking why my life is passing by. And I'm left up high and dry, but it ain't no use to cry. So I shrug a useless sigh and trust the things that other days will meet. And it was just an any old kind of day, the kind that comes and slips away, kind that fills up easy my life's time. I brought any old kind of dark. I heard the ticking of my heart. And why am I thinking something's left behind? Night has had its laughing when streetlights blind the stars. So now it's shedding rain to sing its sorrow, sorrow. It's time for me to sleep and to rest my thoughts away. There'll be another day when things will go my way, but there's other things to say and there's other songs to play. There'll be time enough for thinking come tomorrow. It was just an any old kind of day, the kind that comes and slips away, kind that fills up easy my lifetime. Night brought in the old kind of dark. I heard the ticking of my heart. Why am I thinking something's left behind? Why am I thinking something's left behind? Ooh, ooh.
All right, Tom Chapin. Hey, Tom, we've got some comments. We're going to go to Bill, and he's going to share them with us. And a song will do that. Hi, Bill.
Bill there?
Okay, well, if Bill's not there, Bill, are you with it? Okay. Okay. Tom, I've got to ask you, you know, a lot of the young people today, I mean, they may know Harry's music or your music or the Chapin family legacy. They may not. But it seems by surveys that millennials really want to be more in touch with societal needs than perhaps we baby boomers were. And yet your family always kept it in focus. More about the artistry than the money. And Harry kind of took it to an extreme, I know, where you guys were a little bit worried that it was doing too much. And I don't even know if that story about the fact that he said anybody who donates $100 in this event gets to come to my home, and 23 people slept over that night. Harry had a certain way of being, grander than life about these things. But how would you suggest somebody watching who didn't know a lot, but really is feeling that sense that I want to do something, to put that balance in their lives, still looking for personal achievement and goals, but also keeping the larger aperture in mind about the story of the lives of all of us?
Well, I think that's really important to always understand that that we is not only a whole lot more fun than me, but it's the way that things happen. You know, the astonishing thing about Harry always was, it was never watch me do this. It was, we could do this. And it was true from the very beginning with his brothers. You know, it was his idea to become a folk group. And we listened to the Weavers on a recording a whole summer. And in the summer, Harry said, we could do that. And he got a 5-string banjo and the Pete Seeger book and began to play. And I started as well. And then, you know, he kept having these ideas, you know, we want to go, you want to go to comments? Let's see. We had Bill working.
Okay. Well, is Bill there? Because we'd love to share these comments with Tom if we can. So if the technology allows us to.
Video.
Oh, okay. Well, Tom, what we'll do is, and you're going to keep watching and keep encouraging people to give today to the Harry Chapin Foundation at betterplacetobe.org. But then we'll go to Bill, and you'll be listening in, and you'll hear some of the comments, and I'm sure they'll make you smile.
Cool. I'll finish up with a song. My daughter's.
I'm here.
Oh, there's Bill. Hi, Bill.
What?
I just want to go through a few comments here. We're getting lots of great comments on Facebook, and thanks for everybody for sharing out there. Some of his memorabilia up there, so definitely check that out. But we also heard from Luann, who remembers seeing Harry and the band at the Dr. Pepper concerts in Central Park, New York. I'm not aware of those, but I
remember those, Bill.
Were those pretty cool?
They were very cool. Yeah.
And she said we would get there early in the morning so we could get good seats when the gates opened. It didn't take too long for the beach balls to start getting tossed around. So it sounds like a good time there. Linda's talking about concerts she attended back in Portland, Oregon, and wishes Harry a happy 75th. And she really remembers WOLD. That's the kind of song that resonates with her all the time. We have a lot more comments. We're going to be kind of talking about those throughout the day.
All right, thank you very much, Bill. And Tom Chapin, we can't thank you enough. You want to take us out in song? Why don't we do
Sure.
that?
Here's a song my daughters, Abigail and Lily, Harry's nieces, wrote, and it feels like exactly what we're talking about today. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing till the world can sing the song. Till the world can sing along. You know that's what Harry would be doing if he was still with us. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing the song. Till the world can sing. Till the world can sing. Till the world can sing along. We will not stop shouting. We will not stop shouting. We will not stop shouting till the world shouting right from wrong. Till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing. Till the world can sing. Till the world can sing along. We will not stop chanting. We will not stop chanting. We will not stop chanting. Chanting till the dawn, when the world will sing along. We will not stop praying. We will not stop praying. We will not stop praying till we all can get along. Till the world can sing the song. Till the world can sing. Till the world can sing. Till the world can sing along. Last chance. Till the world can sing. Till the world can sing. Till the world can sing along.
Wonderful. You talk about a song for our times. Remarkable. Tom Chapin, so great to have you with us. 2017, and you just roll along. And people can see you. I know you still perform an awful lot. So look for Tom Chapin. What a joy. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Larry and Bill and Mike and Carry On Friends. You want to get in touch with me, I'm at tomchapin.com. And there's a brand new record called Threads that We Will Not Stop has not only myself, my daughters, Abigail and Lily singing it as well. Love to you all. Carry on, as Harry would say, onward and upward.
Thank you so much, Tom Chapin. BetterPlaceToBe.org. And by the way, if you want to talk to our guests, as people did today with Tom, and the people have spoken to others, you can enter the last 4 digits of your phone number in the Facebook comments. You dial 646-558-8656, and then enter the code 716-793-376. Hit pound for the password, and on you go. And lots of people have been getting through with your comments. We really appreciate them. We will be back in about 5 minutes or so, so stay with us right here while you do other things. We'll do a few things, and we'll be back.